Hello, welcome everyone.
Hello. Oh, hello. Sorry, I had completely lost connection there. I've had real big problems with connection of late. And welcome to the latest printed press. Thank you, Eddie, for holding the fort there for a few minutes. So I apologise to my viewers in advance. Today I've had all sorts of issues with my internet, but hopefully we're back on and streaming now. This week's programme looks at our community's response to the most vulnerable in our community. And for this, we've got Nessie Chalashcum with us, leader of Enfield Council. Welcome, Nessie, to our programme. Thank you very much for being with us today.
Thanks for having me.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Soner Karagözlü, who is the founder of Edible London. Welcome, Soner, to the programme.
Thank you.
And as always, Edim Meto, who actually founded our COVID-19 programme, who is the CEO of the Turkish Cypriot Community Association. Welcome, Edim, as always. My first question actually is to Edim. Could you tell us, could you give us some updates as to where we are with the Turkish Cypriot COVID-19 group?
Yeah, sure. As you know, we started the COVID group around about the 18th, 19th of March, and that was in connection to the stay-home policy that was requested for vulnerable and elderly people. We started a befriending project. We started a volunteer base of food deliveries. We started to organise cooked food packages. We organised elements of getting your pharmacy or sorting out doctor's appointments, various little bits, but things are changing. Things are changing fast. At the moment where we're at, we're providing on Friday, for example, 300 cooked meals. We're circulating about 100 packages. We're going to be doing that on a regular basis. However, the plans for the future are that we will be moving more towards an advice base. The advice base will be to look at the issues that the community has, for example, return back to employment, housing, this, that, the other, and we'll have specific days where that advice will be provided. It'll be all on the phone and it'll be via bilingual officers. So we are where we are. We've still got a long way to go. We are reacting to the situation as it changes. We are very grateful to all the other various organisations that are working together with us, i.e. Edible London, who's here today, Enfield Council, who's filling a big gap with our community, groups like Chutter, Cyprus Islamic Association, the various mosques. The mosque in Edmonton's providing over 400 meals a day, and that includes apart from individuals, it includes to hospitals and various other establishments which need support. So as an organisation, we're very grateful, and we carry on and moving forward.
Yes, I think that's the key, isn't it? That we're actually forming lots of fantastic links with lots of different people and organisations. Nessa, can you give us a background as to how the most vulnerable Enfield residents in our community are being helped through this traumatic period?
So, I mean, it's fair to say that it has been the most unprecedented time for community members, organisations, partners who've had to suddenly step up to support not just our most vulnerable members in the community, but actually lots and lots of people who ordinarily might have had a network and suddenly overnight found themselves without support. So our initial priority was to make sure that those 6,000 odd people who are on the NHS shielded list were directly contacted, and we did that, phoning them, writing to them to say, do you need anything? Please make sure you stay indoors, and do you need a food package? And then we made those who are over 65 a priority. And then very, very quickly, within about 2 weeks, we said we would provide a food package service to anybody in my borough who needed it. And to date, we've delivered about 10,000 packages, and they're individual packages. So the figure of the number of people that we are feeding is actually much greater than that, because, of course, you might have one person who's on the NHS shielded list who wants a package, but the whole family are having to isolate. So we're having to give a number of packages per household. So we've got a food distribution service, a supply centre. So every day there's something like 600 packages that go out. But in addition to that, recognised that we needed to set up a prescription service. So I think something like 4,000 prescriptions we've helped pick up and deliver. And the London Fire Brigade in Enfield have helped us do that. And then working with some community groups who were already providing cooked meals. And Elim has already mentioned that, hundreds and hundreds of cooked meals. So we've given some of them some grants so that it can continue that work.
Yeah, fantastic. I mean, it's awesome what Enfield Council are doing it. And really, you're a beacon for other councils to follow suit, I would say, because your actual organisation and your system has worked really, really well. And like you said, you've outreach a lot of people, not just individuals, but their families as well, who are isolating. So it's fantastic, really. Soned, as Edible London is a community interest company based in Haringey, since enforced lockdown, the organisation has really stepped up to fill this void. Can you tell us a bit about what you're doing?
So yeah, it just, like Nessil said, it was unprecedented times that came upon us. And a good couple of weeks before the lockdown, I made the decision to stop selling our vegetables, to shut our markets, and already start committing all our produce to people in the community. And then what happened with lockdown is you will find that pretty much everyone ended up on that vulnerable list. You know, everyone out there in our community, and not only in our community, worldwide. This is a worldwide pandemic. So yeah, it was just a matter of stepping up and seeing how far we can go with our community, and genuinely just doing things out of solidarity. So we started that. About 2 weeks later, Haringey Council, we've been in, obviously we're working with our council. They've been an absolute same thing, echoing what Nessil said. I'm on the floor, I'm seeing what the Haringey Council are doing. Absolutely amazing. They came to us and they said, listen, this is what's going on. Can you help? Is there anything we could do together? And we teamed up, and then they got Alexandra Palace, Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. And I just remember going there with them and walking into an empty car park and just looking at it and standing there on my own and just looking around at this space. And all I had in my head was the way we do our little, from Wolves Lane, we do a distribution. We've been doing it for near enough 2 years now. So I just visualized the small little setup that we had with the 7 tables, with 7 people, you know, doing the setup, and I just scaled it up in my brain. And I remember it took me about 10 minutes. I'm no word of a lie. It took me 10 minutes. I went in there and that was it. Boom. I had the idea. Everything that was needed, spoke to Haringey Council. We needed tables. We needed fridges. We needed this. We needed that. Within days, it was there. We put a call out to our community. Yeah. Pre-COVID-19, we had 60 volunteers. We put a call out and we had to shut the volunteer line. We had within a week or two, we had 500 people respond. And not just 500 people, 500 superheroes. Like, I'll say this and I'll say it again. Avengers and Marvels ain't got nothing on what's happened in Edible London. So we are packing all the bags for all of Haringey Council's beneficiaries. That's one operation. We've partnered up with local organisations that are cooking food for the community and saving tons and tons of produce a week. Not only from this produce going to the landfill, but it's going through a quality control, being cleaned up, and then going out with the Haringey Council bags, and going out to catering companies, going to local mutual aid groups. We're even setting up our own food hub distribution centre in partnership with Reverend Alex from Pastor Alex, from the Highway Centre in Tottenham. So it's just food. That's what it boils down to, a good, nutritious balance of food. When everyone is locked up in their home, for me, the most important thing, I remember when my mum and dad used to go shopping and they'd come home with fruit. When you've got fruit in your fruit bowl, no matter what room that fruit bowl it is in, it makes you feel good. So this is what Edible London brought to the table. This is what we are about. Not only finding and getting donations, but also saving good fruit and vegetables that ends up in landfills, you know?
Of course.
So the numbers are off the charts. I mean, the amount of people that Haringey Council are reaching, I think it's pretty much in line with what Nessil was saying. The numbers that we're doing, I can't explain to you. I mean, we're reaching over 25,000 people a week with a cooked meal through our partners who are picking up food, cooking it, and then delivering it back to us. I mean, tomorrow we're going to be distributing over 1,900 portions of food, and you know, all over London. That's the blessing about Edible London. You know, yes, we work with Haringey Council. Yes, we work with Compassion London, who are in Wembley Stadium. Yes, we work with Food for All. We work with the North London Food Consortium, we work with everyone. We're Edible London. We ain't confined to a borough. So we're able to, so yeah, we're the platform. That's what it is. It's a platform.
That's fantastic. I mean, it's amazing. It's amazing how it's grown, and it's amazing what you're doing. And we were talking just before the program about things that we're going to do. We're going to talk about the future as well for Edible London. But just to go on our comments, we've had lots of comments coming in, people congratulating us, telling us, Yasmin telling us, well done, that we're helping vulnerable people. Mehdi Ismet all the way from Cyprus saying, great work, Erim Son and Nesil Ayshen for the community, proud of you and all the hard work. Ertanch Bey said, Enfield Council, led by their fantastically able leader, Nesil Çalışkan, should be congratulated and thanked for their supporting vulnerable people. I think I went off and went back on again. I mean, it is amazing what Enfield Council have been doing. Truly, it is commendable. But on Sunday, the 10th of May, 2020, the government announced a roadmap to a semi-normality with some services reopening this week. Can you tell us how this will affect Enfield residents and what we're going to do next?
So the Prime Minister made an announcement on a Sunday night, which I have to say in itself is incredibly unhelpful, to be honest with you, when you are a council, when you need to react, prepare your local authority, your community, and also businesses for any changes. But anyway, we are where we are. But the tangible things that we've been working on the last 2 days is our parks and open spaces. So, for example, today we've put out a statement to confirm that our tennis courts are open again, but we've decided not to open our basketball courts. And so one of the challenges has been kind of understanding what the government's guidance is, because although the statement happened on Monday, the detailed guidance wasn't announced until a few days later. And with that came a number of challenges, not least mixed messages to our community. So as a result, the council has had to be more proactive in making sure that we're providing that clarity for people. And I was asked today, what is therefore the message at this time? And the message from us is, please just continue to stay at home, because yesterday there were over 600 people that died. Certainly in my mind, the risk of the infection hasn't gone away. And so the best thing people can do is to stay at home, which is why we'll continue to deliver some of the services that I described, to encourage people to stay at home as much as they can.
Yes, I think that's a very important message, that we stay at home. We're not over the worst yet, Nesil, and thank you very much for the fact that Enfield is committing to helping the community even more. And we've got lots and lots of comments coming through. Lots of people saying congratulations. I know that the internet is coming on and off. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
We can.
Yes.
Yeah.
Soner, the next question for you is, what does the future?
You cut out.
I think we've lost her.
Hello?
Yeah.
Yeah, I cut out. Okay, sorry about that. How about now? Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
I was going to say, what does the future have in store for Edible London?
Oh, big question. How long we got?
5 minutes. Try and put it to 5 minutes. Can you all hear me now, by the way? Is my internet back on? I apologize profusely for this. I'm so sorry. Yes.
What the future has for Edible London: more food, more local food, more acknowledgement and solidarity within people. That's what we've got now. We've got a group of people that are committed to making a change in our community. And I've learned a lot in 2.5 years. I've seen the bureaucracy. I've seen and I've learned about an industry I was a baby to, and I'm still a baby to. There's still so much I've got to learn about this. But what I do know is we have test piloted education. We have test piloted, selling vegetables, opening up a market stall, having a production kitchen. There's so many different avenues that we have test piloted in the past 6 months of Edible London. And we've only done this purely because we want to make our organization sustainable. We do not want to have to rely on public money and constantly doing grants. So we didn't have much luck with them in the first year and a half of our journey. And anyway, and that's not with no negativity. That is purely because there is a way to do things. And I didn't have that knowledge. But the best thing about it is the knowledge I did have is how to care for people, how to cook good food, how to know what good food is. And yeah, we just, it's magic. What's to come is more greenhouses, more growing food, more education, more well-being events, more collaborations, working with all councils over London. And just one thing I want to say, like, everyone out there is doing an amazing job. Every single person that I have seen through COVID-19, councils like Enfield Council, what you guys are doing, it's not their normal job. You know, we're talking about people that have not only responded to a food response, have learned new skills very rapidly and put them into motion. Yeah, this is unique and this cannot be forgotten. This is what I hope when COVID-19 is over, all them times that we say we don't have time to do this. No, I ain't got time, son. Sorry, I've got to go to work. Or I ain't got time, boss. Sorry. Or you've got to have this paperwork on my desk in the morning. Where's all that paperwork now? Where's all them times that we didn't have time? So I hope what we take from this, what we take from COVID-19 is, and I'm not disagreeing with what Nessim said, even with our government, but even our government, they're human beings. They don't. This is a worldwide pandemic. None of us know what's going on. None of us, even the scientists, every day they're discovering something new. So no one really knows what's going on. So we can't be too harsh on anybody, not our councillors, not our government, not our community groups. You know, positivity, zero negativity. We have to help. If we're not helping, if our council ain't doing something right, don't point your finger and say, you're not doing this, or you didn't give me that, or why aren't you helping me? Ask a question. Say, how can I get you to help me? Or how can I help you? Or how can we resolve this? There's always a different way to communicate something. And I think we've all learned that. We have.
Yeah, I mean, definitely. I think what your message is that to look on the bright side of everything. From a very dire situation, a lot of positives have come out, and that is definitely the message that we're trying to put across to our audiences. But I think it is very important that we are very careful, that we do stay at home. And what is amazing is that, you know, Edible London, Enfield Council are actually, like you said, you know, being very fluid with what their responsibilities are and actually reaching out to so many people in the community is absolutely amazing. And we've got lots of positive comments. My internet, I am aware that my internet keeps coming and going. But Ed, good night, well done. You are an inspiration, Soned. Maxime, and you have not seen anything. Hashtag Max from Edible. So the future is going to be even better. May God bless you all for all that you're doing. Ed Tunch Bay is saying, thanks, Nessa, for your contribution to the Reuters report, which outlined the government's failure regarding care homes. Nessie, is there anything else you want to add about that? I mean, that's quite a good point. Thank you for that.
Yeah, I mean, just on the back of what Sono said, and I'm happy to talk about care homes, he's absolutely right. So one of the positives of this is, in a very short space of time, lots of things have been possible that for a long time people told us wasn't possible. And so one of the challenges for the next couple of months and weeks is to make sure that some of these networks that we've created isn't lost, that we create sustainable models, and perhaps most importantly for my borough is to support a local economy. And if you are emphasising the importance of growing things locally, having a local kind of supply chain, you are supporting the local economy. And at a time when so many of our micro and small businesses are under incredible pressure, and they are, many of them are trying to survive at the moment, it will be a real positive if we can find a way that we can pump that kind of resource and money through local supply chains to keep them going. On care homes, it is without a doubt the most critical issue that's facing, I think, the country actually. Certainly lots of boroughs across London, and perhaps Enfield Council more than most, because we actually have a huge number of care homes in my borough. We have 90, which is quite unusual. I mean, if you compare that to Hackney, for example, they only have 4. Camden have 11, I believe. So for Enfield to have 90, we're not experiencing anything that is different to the rest of the country, but we are experiencing it more. So that the majority of our care homes now have declared an outbreak, and we very sadly had the death of a care worker who is mentioned in the Reuters report that you just referred to. Really brought it home to us as a community just how difficult those frontline roles are. So as a local authority, we've been calling just very briefly for 2 things. One is adequate PPE for care workers, and secondly, proper testing. And that's still a fight that we're kind of engaged with, to be honest, because as of yesterday, it was still the case that only 4 of our 90 care homes had been offered testing kits. So in my view, that's clearly unacceptable. Yes. And so it's for the many residents in care homes across my borough and the 5,000 care workers that are on the front line that we will every day raise these issues.
Hello, I'm back.
Yes, thank you very much. Yes, I know our internet is going great, but we're still ploughing through. And like you said, I think all of those things, Nessil, are a priority. And thank you very much for doing all the hard work that you do for us, so that those care homes get, the attention that they need. Like you said, for our borough, for Enfield, that is a hugely high amount of care homes.
Can I just add one more thing? Because this is my job.
Yes.
What I'm meant to do. And the council should be doing all of this stuff. For many of our local groups whose job it isn't, and for many businesses who over the last few weeks, I have to say many from the Turkish-speaking community who have donated money and produce in, very, very generously, I have to say a very big thank you, because they have filled a gap that was very clearly there.
Yeah, I'll echo that. Yeah. And Nessil, before it cut out, you mentioned something about the growing. Absolutely, we want to grow food, and we are ready. And when you want, let's have a chat. Right. Because we're ready to grow everywhere.
So, we might have to relocate you to Enfield.
We don't. Remember what we're called, Edible London. If I'm not mistaken, Enfield is in London.
Indeed, we are, yeah.
No, that's beautiful.
I'm so sorry, guys. I heard most of that. I did hear most of it, but not all of it. But yeah, I am back. The next question is:
relocating to Enfield?
Yes, of course. Yeah.
We don't grow by forgetting our foundations. Remember that. But there's plenty of edible to go around. I promise you. I think
we're messing up the schedule by interrupting.
Yeah, no worries. I think the final question was directed at me, and it was looking at partnerships. And you guys have already echoed what I want to say, which is that we've built a strong foundation related to partnerships that can go on beyond this period. And these foundations are very strong. They go across ethnic guidelines. They go across boundaries. What they represent is that we all have a skill set, and we respect that skill set. But when the community needs us to step up, that we can focus on those skills and then help the community get through this traumatic period. And I think, I met Sonia about a week and a half ago. Within a day, he had 120 meals on my doorstep, brought down with these bikers who Harley Davidsons and stuff. We've got a regular relationship that's happening now. We're working on a daily basis. He's got ideas that we discussed, which we hope to formulate in the future and hope to extend that to helping homeless and this, that, the other. There's other people and other organizations which have approached us and we've approached them. So it's a foundation for something that we need to build on. And it's a positivity that respects everyone's ability and the fact that the community needs us and we're there. So I think that's important to echo. And it's not just us as community leaders, it's the local authority which have stepped up and formed partnerships, and wherever there's been barriers, they've, you know, like for you example, Sonia, to be able to be placed in Alexandra Palace within days of the outbreak, that's unheard of. You know,
Exactly.
the amount of red tape that we had to go through to have an event at Ali Pali in the old days was like astounding, but it's needed, and you was there, and it's used your skill set related to be able to get volunteers on board and to be able to provide the food to the people that really need it. So I mean, that's what I've got to say is let's keep this up, and I think we will as a community. We're dealing with COVID-19, but let's not forget how we've utilised each other's skills and abilities to be able to, as a community, move forward.
Absolutely.
Hello, sorry. I'm back, and I'm assuming Erim's answered the question about how partnerships have been formed and how we're going to develop this long term, right?
Yeah.
Okay, fantastic. Before we close the program, thank you very much for coming on the program. And I think as the weeks go on, we might need you guys back to give us an update as to what's actually happening within Enfield and within Edible London. But just as a message to our audiences, if we start with Nessie, what would you like to sort of put out there for our audiences just before we close the program?
Well, I guess it's to say that I know it's been very, very difficult the last few weeks, particularly for those who don't have gardens. So it's to say thank you for staying at home, continue to do that. And also to make sure that you tell others if they need support that they can still contact the local authority. And for our businesses in the community that are facing a real tough time, and I know we haven't spoken about it in length, we've set up a special helpline for them to contact Enfield Council so that can provide some support through business rate relief or grants.
That's fantastic. So they should look at the Enfield website. Is that correct? It will be on there. Yeah. Okay, and there's helplines, is there as well that they can come?
Yeah.
Brilliant. Thank you very much, Nessie, for that. And Soned, Edible London, last words to our audiences for today.
I just have to say thank you to every single Edible London volunteer that has done what they have done, because you've not only made me proud, but you've made the whole of London proud. You guys are superheroes, every single one of you, from admin to the person who's packing mushrooms in a paper bag. Yeah. And to everyone, and to extend that beyond and further to Haringey Council, Alexandra Palace, the Tottenham Hotspurs, the Be Compassion, everyone. Just there's too many. Just, oh my God, and thank you. And we are going to be in a position to not only deal with COVID-19, but nurture our community back to a better place.
Yeah. I hope so. My internet is better, I believe. So I've been told that we could just extend it by a few minutes just to go over some of the, viewers' comments, because I wasn't able to go through them because I kept connecting and disconnecting. So we'll just go through them if that's all right. Just a few more minutes. Yasmin said, well done to you all. I know you've reached a lot of vulnerable people with the COVID-19 project. Fantastic work. So that's just a well done from somebody from our community. Like I said before, I read Medi's Ismet's comments. Great work, Edim, Sonet and Nessil. Aisha and the community are proud of all of you and the hard work and effort. So really, I mean, people are coming together and are realising how difficult these times have been, but there's positivity out there. Tunch Bay, we already read out, but he was saying Enfield Council lead, you're leading fantastically. Nezihan Chalishgan should be congratulated and thanked for their work supporting vulnerable people in the borough. So specifically, Enfield Council, I think, are a beacon borough for the way they've actually handled this crisis. So definitely well done. Gul Neil has said, amazing work, great that the community are coming together. Certainly, and hopefully that will happen beyond this crisis is a message that we put out on the programme. Sarah, well done all. Richard, London and beyond, Sunny. So yes, I think that point, isn't it, that you were saying Edible London is for everywhere, really, not just for one borough, but for all. Ed Gunay, here's also very much a lead on our community and helping with the deceased at the moment. Ed Gunay, well done. You are an inspiration. And Maxim, you have not seen anything yet. That was in reference to what Edible London was going to do next and the future. And we'll definitely have more programs to talk about that. Yili, you're all amazing, guys. May God bless you all for all that you are doing. And then Tunch Bay asked about, obviously, the Router report and the care homes. And Nestle actually kindly answered that. And obviously, Enfield Council is very aware of that, the amount of care homes that we have within the borough. Tim, we're looking good, guys. We're all proud of you. Melissa, amazing program. Egg, well done. Yasmin, again, God bless you. Amazing work. Easy, Sonet, and amazing work. All thank you from Naime Kale, who also is a care worker herself, who goes in and is, first-hand NHS worker. It's been amazing. Thank you very much for coming on my program. I apologise for the disconnections, but I think we still got our message across. A lot of good work happening across the community, and we're all pulling together. Let's hope that we do have a better future once we are out there. What may not be the future that we thought we would have, but certainly it will be better, hopefully, now that we're coming together. But I think Ness's message was very important for our residents in Enfield to stay at home, because I think the crisis isn't quite over yet. So I think that's a very important message that you have said to us today, really, is to stay safe and stay at home, and if you can work from home, to work from home, most definitely. But thank you very much to everybody, and thank you to our viewers. That's it from us from Eurogench TV. Have a good evening. Thank you. Goodbye.
Thank you.
Welcome, we are Bologna, calling newlyweds or those looking for a new bedroom set. Venti 5-door bedroom set is not only glamorous and modern, but has storage inside the bed. This bedroom set was £3,700, now £2,395. Bologna, we are here for you.